the ape stood and became man.
Hey, where are the white women at?
Fade in.
Vaginas in the rain.
Funny. She doesn't look Jewish.
I am McLovin.
What is he doing? Come on, man.
That's a big Twinkie.
Is this some kind of bust?
Well, it's very impressive, yes, but we need to ask you a few questions.
God damn, there's a lot of stupid bastards walking around. Carry a little pad and pencil with you. You wind up with 30 or 40 names by the end of the day.
Yeah, you fucking.
Hey, everybody, we're all gonna get laid.
Your bargaining posture is highly dubious.
You know what your problem is? You're putting the pussy on a pedestal.
That's the second time I've heard that. What is the pussy on a pedestal thing?
Yup.
Prepare ship for ludicrous speed.
Papyrus. Rolling papyrus.
Be excellent to each other.
Party on, dudes!
Classic stupid move. Hail to the chat. What's going on? Thank you guys for being here today. Nick laughing at me in the background. Really appreciate you guys today. I got a wonderful guest here on the author interviews. For those of you who missed season one, I've got a whole folder of season one. A lot of great interviews in that. And I like to bring on people every now and again, bring on somebody who's already well known in the community. And I like to bring up and comers. I would really want to promote indie creators, and I don't care if it's if you're a novelist, you're a YouTuber, Twitch streamer, comic artist. I like supporting indie. That's what I've been doing. That's our voices are very important, and the diverse range that we have of voices is so. And we don't need to scream about diversity; it just is. And with me today is one of the people that I met. Haven't had a chance to work with all that often, but I really enjoy his thoughts. I love seeing him on live streams. I love being on panels with him. Guys, please, if you have not subscribed to 32 Flavors of Nickweiser. What's up, brother?
What's up, Steven? How you doing, sir? Glad to be here. And yeah, man, I've missed you around these parts of the YouTube sphere. It's nice to have you back around here, and it's a pleasure to be on this interview session with you. So I'm ready to hang out and hail to the chat. Hopefully everyone's doing good on this fine Monday afternoon, considering if you're in America, if you're somewhere else around the world, good morning or evening or whenever, wherever.
Well, Robbie's from Ireland, and he said hailing greetings from Ireland. Hail, brother.
Cheers.
Cheers to my international audience. Thank you guys so much for being here. Please hit that like button and share out the link for me. Really appreciate that. With us is channel member Toxic Man Flu. Hail, brother. Good to see you. Thank you for being here, man. Tox is like is a gold mine. You know, he started
him. I met him in person.
You met him in person?
We had pizza. I met him and Mrs. Flu a few weeks
Really?
ago. Yeah, it was awesome. We had pizza. And we are, let's just say we got big plans in the works. It's gonna be huge.
Good. Yeah, I've seen Tox get on some I've seen him up on Comics' streams. And I saw him on, I think I saw him on Sporking's stream. I was like, it's really cool to see people come out of the chat and then start being content creators, just like I was. I was just somebody in the chat and I decided to make a YouTube channel. Real quick before we go into that, I mean, is that how you started, Nick? Like, were you in the chats and then you just decided?
No. I started let's see. When I started the channel, I'll just say that because the story, the origin story is a whole other novel, like straight up. But when I started the channel, I was making videos for a few months, kind of like on my own merits, just going for things. And I got around about 120 subscribers, I think. And at that point in time, between when I started the channel, I was listening to stuff like, For Canon's Sake from Eric July. I was listening to FNT. I was listening to stuff like that. But I never really commented in the chat. But I kept hearing about super chats because I was actually watching this stuff all on my TV. I wasn't looking at it from my phone. So I was just all watching on my big TV. And so I kept hearing the chat, super chat. I'm like, okay. I guess I should see what's going on here. Maybe if I look at it on my phone or sometimes I'll have on the screen, I'm like, maybe it's probably on my phone I can look at. And I looked down, I'm like, oh, there's all these crazy names. This is crazy. See all these people interacting like they've been friends for ages type of thing. So I just kind of like would just say really random things that probably didn't make any sense.
Mm-hmm.
And I remember I got greeted by a few people, Eric K, just another red shirt. I don't know if they remember when they first greeted me, but they did welcome me. I do remember that. Lord Thoth as well.
Good people.
And all excellent individuals. And I kept, looking around like, okay, what's going on with these smaller channels? So I was looking at the smaller channels as well. And then I was just like, man, dude, should I say something on one of these chats? And then I just say, no, screw it. Then one day on an FNT episode, I just posted on a chat, hey, I'm new to this whole thing going on here. I got a channel going. I'm just trying to get some reach on around the world. And if someone could give me a stream, that would be great. And this guy named Jake D responded. I don't know if you remember him well, but Jake D was the first one that gave me a shot. And he had a Sunday evening stream called Howling About Entertainment. And I appeared on there and then ended up becoming a regular on there. And that was fun. And we're having a good time, hanging out with me, him, and a few other guys. And then I finally tuned into one of the member streams from Nerdrotic. And that was weird because before I know it, I was talking to him on a stream. Granted, even though it was a private, it still was whoa. I'm going to talk to all these people I don't know. What's the first thing I say? But whatever, just go for it. And I remember Gary let me on, and I was talking to people. I remember I got along right away with Paulie, Latino Slant. Yeah, and that was before his channel took off too. And we were just talking about old stuff, and we were talking about the X-Files. And he's like, oh, I'm doing a watch party. You should come on. And I joined him and had a great time. And then I ended up coming back, and then same thing at Clobbering Times. I linked up with him. We were having fun there. Same with Chris Knight, Real Review 3000. Yeah. And actually it's because of Chris Knight I got to know Comics Division actually, because I didn't even know Knight. I did not. I just kind of saw he had a Mandalorian Roundtable on season 2. I'm like, hey, I'm looking for some stuff to get on. Can you get me on? And I was like, he's like, yeah, I'll get you on. I'm like, holy crap, that worked. I thought he was like, hey, you got to get in line or something. No, but he was really cool about it. It was great. And I remember thinking, okay, this should be fun, talking Star Wars, something like that. And then I got on the stream, a few minutes before it starts. And then I remember I got on, and all of a sudden I saw Comics Division was there. And I immediately turned off my camera and my mic. I'm like, what the fuck? I was just like, I'm on a stream the same one as Comics Division. I know. Watching about my TV, it kind of freaked me out, and then so he never saw nor heard me freaking out. I'm like, okay, breathe for a minute or two, turn back everything on, and I'll say, no, I agree with everyone. It was fun. We did that whole entire season, and then we all, I guess, basically parted ways, and then less than a half hour. I got a message directly from Daddy Division on Twitter, direct message. He's like, hey, I need to get you on a stream sometime. Mm-hmm. And I couldn't believe it. I was just like, whoa, what? And he's like, hey, can we get you on this Monday? And I was going to do that Monday, but I actually did not. And the reason why is because even though Comics Division is a drastically big channel, when I make a commitment to something, I see it through to the end. And I had originally already booked with Clobbering to review Wonder Woman 84. So I said, hey, listen, I know obviously, is there any way we could do this for another time? And he said he was totally cool with it. And he actually respected I chose the priority of what I committed to first. And before I knew it, I got on yelling at parked cars. I had a great time. And I thought that was going to be a one-off thing. I had a great time. It was fun. I thought that'll be the peak. That was it. That was the end of the line. It was a great time. Have fun. Just have fun for the rest of YouTube. But then I thanked him, a message, and he, for some reason, kept shooting me the link. And then it kind of became, hey, you can stay if you want, and the rest is history.
Comics is one of those cats who he's different. He's not the norm. You know what I mean? What we would consider the norm bubble. So when he finds people that just don't fit a certain mold, I guess, in society, he gravitates. He just loves them. He found out I was a Wiccan. He said, come on in, man. He was like, I know what you're going through. And I like to see people like that in the community that bring people in. Real quick before we go forward, I wanted to say hi to the chat. Tox, thank you for being here. Brutal Morning was with us. the best name in all the chats, Brutal Morningwood. Hail, brother. Good to see you. We said hi to Robbie. Hail the international audience. Thank you for being here. D Bud, D Bud Martin. Hail, brother. Good to see you. CJH channel member. Thank you so much for being here. Thank you for supporting the channel. Runner Blaze is with us. What's up, Runner? Good to see you, my man. Always love seeing you, brother. Static 2020. Hail, brother. Hail the chat. Pale Rider bringing some trees in. What is up? That Flavors, in case you don't know, Nick, he is the Giga Chad of the chat. Whenever Pale Rider steps in, he's Giga Chad.
Okay.
He's no fatties. Yeah, he's not banging fatties. They always gotta be 10s. He aims for 10, and he always gets 10. No gay shit, no nothing, no back kisses, no man love, no nothing. He's the Giga Chad. Okay. You ever seen Excalibur? You ever seen Excalibur, Nick? The movie Excalibur from 1981, I think it was.
I think, and I have to emphasize the word I think, because there's so many movies that I thought I have seen and then I haven't, and vice versa.
Well, there's a scene. There's a scene in this movie where King Arthur's riding up with all his knights, and his knights are riding away all busted up and destroyed because they ran into Lancelot, and he's just tearing through them. All right, that is Giga Chad Pale Rider. Lancelot. Hail Tina Poachin, good to see you. Thank you, sweetheart. The heart of my channel and many others. Thank you so much, channel member. Appreciate you keeping them lights on. Dr. Coffin Nails, what is up? Hail my OG TFM chat brethren, Dr. Coffin Nails. Good to see you, man. It's the first time we met in World Class Bullshitters chat, man. I've always loved seeing you. Red Gaze is here with us. What's up, Gaze? Good to see you, my man. And let's go forward. So you kind of went along a track when you first came in here to YouTube. You kind of went along the same track that a lot of people that just entering the community go through. You know, and when you meet different people, you can invite on different streams. What are some of your favorite moments as you've been coming up in the last year?
Let's see here. Some of my favorite moments on the YouTubes. Well, I mean, obviously Toxic Man Flu on the Yelling at Park Cars chat is something that'll never get old. Just the endless flavors and Drew's Dawn, all that stuff. That alone goes on for years on end. One of my favorite things I did, it was when my buddy Clobbering Times had a stream called the Global Geek Gang. And we are doing a whole epic panel on the lore of Green Lantern, and we had Robert Burnett on. That was great. It was like one of those rare streams where everyone was firing on all cylinders.
Yeah, Robert's great in the stream.
Oh, and Robert was awesome. And that was a cool one. The first time I was on Midnight's Edge after dark, that tripped me out. That like kind of freaked me out too, because my brother got into that. He got me into Midnight's Edge, so he would always talk about that show on end. And then then all of a sudden I'm like, hey, guess who's on Midnight's Edge now? So it's a total trip. And when I obviously meeting everyone that I have in person has been huge. Like the Vegas meetup may have been the best thing. I'd say the Vegas meetup was probably the best thing because me and Comics Room together. I met Core Black Garrett in person. I've met so many people from the chat. Like I met Not Another Dime. I met Mike Beat. Like I could go down the list of names all day. I met Robert Barnes. Robert Barnes was there. Like I couldn't believe it. I'm like, dude, it's Robert Barnes from Viva Barnes.
Right.
Like, it just was like it was like it. Once again, everything about it's just like it's another step of how much crazier and wilder and more awesome can this get. And somehow it does. It just does. Like, and I just want to keep going. Like, this has been a great year, and I'd say I've been doing this YouTube gig for a little over a year and a half now, maybe teetering a few months away on 2 years. It's been great, and I can only imagine that this journey is going to get even crazier. And I'm close to monetization too. Like, I'm overqualified on hours, and I'm less than 100 subs away from 1,000. I'm at like 6,000 hours, so I'm good on the hours. So it's just crazy, like that this journey and this whole thing has happened, because I honestly never thought I would get this far with anything ever. I was just like, I want to have fun with people, enjoy the ride, and it's been all things coming up Millhouse.
That's incredible. How important is it, or how much of an impact does it really have when you actually meet people from the chats or other YouTubers at a meetup event? What's that like, man?
Oh, it's absolutely awesome. Seriously, it's absolutely awesome. I love, like, especially on yelling, like you see all these like names in the chat, and you're like, man, all these people who, whether on yelling or they come over to my Toxic Tuesday on Tuesday night, I want to meet all these people, like all of them. If I have already met them, I want to meet them again, because whether someone who shows up for the streams or send money towards a tip jar, I want to meet them all. I want to be the one that buys them the drinks for constantly supporting and showing up and hanging out. Like I love meeting everyone. Like I'm like, for me, like I'll go to a party, I will make sure I own that party. Like, and that's
extrovert.
So, the embodiment. Just as comics, he'll tell you about surviving Vegas with Nick.
Oh man, real quick, CGH member for 18 months, man. Thank you so much. Free super chat that YouTube likes to hide. 13 months. Hey, I'm sorry. I got my phone. My buddy went and got my phone so I could see that. I'm sorry, CJ. Thank you so much. Dragon Stop through Dragon Master 360 and Sleepy Me here. I'm here because Nick invited me. That's people. Thank you. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
No, I was gonna say that means that the Gilded app. I said because now on Gilded, it's like a Discord alternative. Mm-hmm. Yes, you actually get the notifications when streams are coming up. You actually get it. So you get sub event pages too. People are actually getting it. So good. What's up, Dragon Master? Nice to see you, buddy.
So Gilded, that's a Discord alternative, you say?
Way better than Discord. Yes, I use it. I've got about almost 60 followers. Culture's got around 70. We're having a blast on there. I'm going to do a Yelling at Park Cars pregame show on there. No, for the members only on there before yelling. It's great, dude.
Really?
I highly recommend getting a Gilded. Reject Discord and move to Gilded.
Okay, I mean that's great. Actually, I was just talking with Drunk 3PO last month, and he was saying like get Discord. You can use that to really help build an audience, personalize it. But if Gilded's better, I want to go check that out.
Do Gilded, especially you and I could talk about it in Secret Lair, but there's some shady practices on Discord that are more shadier than most big tech. Most of them. That's saying a lot. Trust me when I say it's saying a lot.
All right. I mean, it's okay. Well, we will talk about that soon. Mr. Tickle Trunk came through channel member. Thank you so much. Canadian $2. Stephen and Nick. What is this? The Chad cast? Yeah, it may be. Tail Riders the dick at Chad, and he's in the chat. So he's the Chad of the chat. Thank you, Mr. Tickle Trunk. Another great person, man. Another great
man.
You meet so many friends. You meet so many people as you come up. You've been doing this a year and a half. I've been here about 3 years. And you get to know names. You like I mentioned, just another red shirt let me in clobbering times. You mentioned like I've seen, I've either known these people since I started or I've seen them as I've come up. And the consistency of decent interactions between a lot of the creators in this indie sphere, it never goes down. And if anything, it builds upon itself because there's such a good culture that's built as people come in and help one another. And people like Mr. Tickle Trunk, man, just thank you so much for being a part of this community. We appreciate you. Phil T. Mentee, what's up, dude? Hello there. Thank you for being here, bro. Rogue Disney is with us. Says howdy, folks. Howdy, you, Rogue Disney. I heard you and Jay had a great time at SeaWorld. Yeah. Did you jump on his back? Listen, if I ever meet Drunk, I'm going to get a picture of riding him. I'm going to ride him like a Wrangler. Good luck. That's happening. Oh, I'm little. I'm going to scramble right up his back.
Seriously, dude. When I met Drunk 3PO, he is so deceiving. And I say that in the fact that like when you see him on stream, he just seems like a regular guy. But then I met him in person, and I swear I thought I saw a man the size of Macho Man Randy Savage. I'm not joking around. That dude is a towering presence. I was just like, trust me when I say I tripped. I know like when he like sees like a double take like They Live. That's what I did when I saw Drunk 3PO person. I'm like, Drunk is a big motherfucker. What?
I know he's big. He's telling me he's big. I'm expecting. Everybody's big to me, Nick. I'm telling you, I'm gonna climb his back. No, I can't wait to see. I can't wait to meet him. I think I'm meeting up with him shortly. Let's see. Wookie Supremacy is in the chat. He says, "Hit like for the metalhead representation." Hell, brother.
What's up, Wookie?
Good to see you, Wook, man. Thank you so much. Let's see. D-Bud says, I found out about this stream from Nick posting it on Gilded. All right, guys, check out Gilded out there. apparently this is something new. It's working out for Nick and Culture Casino. And thank you guys so much for being here. If it's your first time here, please consider subscribing. But more importantly, we need to get Nick to 1,000. Nick, how far away are you from 1,000 subscribers?
I'd say 95, 94. Like, I'm getting there, man. I'm really getting. I can taste it. Like, I'm being teased by it, and it's crazy because like less than 6 months ago, I was at 500. It took a while to get 500, but it's taken a lot quicker to go from 500 to 1,000. So
we need a mission, y'all. I see a lot of names I know in the chat. Some that came here for the Knicks fans. I appreciate you. Can we everybody? The link for his channel is in the description below. Can you share that link out on all your social media right now? Let's get a big push. This man's got less than 100 subs before he gets to 1,000. Let's make this happen, man. Put it out everywhere. Thank you so much. Let's see. Tickle Trunk says Gilded is great. It's like Discord, but without the stick up its ass. All right. I didn't know that there was penetration going on at Discord.
oh, trust me, it gets penetrating.
Oh,
You know, like Tickle Trunk sounds like he knows the deal. He knows the deal. It's.
I need to know the deal. What he's.
Oh,
what?
I don't know what my life. My life. It sounds like there's life, and then there's life with Toxic Man Flu.
Toxic Man for $5 channel member. Thank you so much. Nickweiser is a beautiful man in person. He is heavenly. Oh man, was there a bromance that happened, Nick?
Dude, it is a bromance. Are you kidding me? Like the Dix Division has gotten very romantic.
Kill the Dix Division. Yeah.
Seriously, it's gotten very romantic. And Tox is among the great, romancers like him, and obviously like having us, like especially once again when we had the four main guys of yelling meet in person. We felt like the Dicks were long, hard, and strong.
Right. Yes. Man love is not gay, y'all. Hell.
No,
awesome.
We cheese out together.
When the idea with the Dicks Division started, oh God, I was so happy to be there, and I was pushing that hashtag. I love what the group, the camaraderie that's been created. Because I mean, Comics Chat is one of the best chats on YouTube.
Oh my God,
hands down.
Amazing.
Yeah, so many good people out there. So many just fun, having a good time. I love to see. Like, I don't know how Comics Division is not in the tens of thousands yet. He's
going to get there.
He's definitely going to get there.
The thing is, like comics like me, we're both men that I guess, and I say this very respectfully. It's just we both have very busy lives outside of here. Like he's got a job where he's a very serious job. Yeah. So obviously that takes up a lot of his time. He also owns land, so that's a big thing too. Me, I have the dad life, the home life, and being being a boyfriend life that could lead to something more. Not hint life. So there's a lot like on our show. I'm sure if him and I had all-time world, I'd probably be at like 2,000. He'd probably be at like 15,000. So, but it's okay. We're enjoying the ride and we love it. We love the dedication that people have given the Dix Division.
Hail, you guys. Hail the Dix Division. The CJH channel member, thank you so much for Canadian $5, says, would love to try an interview with my dumbass broke mic again. Your mic broke again, CJH? Trying to get I gotta try and upload more content now that the weather's getting better. You should, CJ, because you're out of school now. You graduated. You got your whole life coming together. CJH, Nick is like one of those people in the community that I met when I first started. 3 years I've known this guy. We've done live streams together back in the Fourth Wave days. He had life stuff to do, so he couldn't build his channel. But he's come out. I've seen this man grow, and I'm happy to be his friend, dude. Hit me up, CJ. If you want to come on sometime, get your mic fixed. Absolutely, man. Absolutely. So, Nick, tell me, what were you doing before YouTube?
YouTube. Let's see here. There's not going to be a long story short. This is just going to be the long story long. So, all right. The roots of the idea of starting a YouTube channel sprinkle back as far as 2014. And there's this company called Digital Tour Bus, and they were a columnist page / YouTube channel. So they're both things. I did the columnist stuff, and they were for the YouTube stuff. They would do tour videos on tour buses. Like they would, get a view. It was kind of like what's that? What was that MTV show where they view someone's house?
Cribs.
Cribs. It was like Cribs, but for tour buses. But I did the columnist portion where I would go to shows, review them, be on the guest list, and I did that for live music for probably like 2.5 years, and it was really good. I had great time with it. Now, one of the issues is that all the reviewers this guy hired, most of them were not showing up to the shows, and I was one of the only ones. And when your websites, when you have things that are growing, you gotta see, okay, what's working and what's not, and what's not most of the time usually has to go. And I was the only one getting reviews done and getting actual views, which is awesome. But when everyone else is not showing up, something had to go by the wayside. So he kind of nixed that part, which I get it. I still understand it to this day. I was never mad at the guy. I don't blame him. It was the right move. If you're a growing business, you got to get rid of what's not working, especially when one guy's showing up and 15 others aren't showing up, like at least on a consistent basis. But you got to have the consistency. So then Dead Life happened for many years, and I knew like at the time while I was doing the digital tour bus stuff, as much as I really enjoyed, I knew I wanted to do something on my own. I just didn't know exactly what. And I kept like thinking of ideas in my head, like what do I want to do? And it gave me time between the children being born and growing a few years, what exactly I wanted, what I wanted to start, the hows and the whys. And then many moons later, I got into the very first YouTuber, who I guess you could say is semi-involved within the sphere, was Eric July. And it was right around the time when the Captain Marvel movie is coming out. I remember watching those videos, and it like really opened my eyes because at the time I was around the echo chamber of Chicago. As much as I love the pizza in Chicago, there's a bit of an echo chamber of a particular ideology. And it wasn't that I was into that way or I even oppose it. It was more so that the echo chamber runs so deep in Chicago, it's like you forget other ways of thought exist. And I knew there was something off about the whole shoehorning of the Carol Danvers Captain Marvel. I just didn't know how or why or how to form my thoughts around it. I couldn't.
Right.
And when I discovered the Ripa videos, I'm like, holy crap, this makes sense. This really feels like it sums up everything I've been trying to like understand. It all makes sense now. And I had looked into more and more stuff to try to piece it together because I had heard the name of stuff like Comicsgate, Gamergate for a while. And I didn't really like hate it, but nor so liked it. I just kind of heard the perspective of the mainstream side. I guess you could say I just took their word at it. I didn't really get involved. I just say, okay, well, there's clearly these bad people going on. I guess, if they're saying they're white supremacists, they gotta be, because that's a very powerful statement.
Yeah.
So as I'm digging more into his Ripa videos, I'm really, really enjoying it. Now all of a sudden I start seeing some of the names like your boy Zach and Ethan Van Sciver and a few are just some guy. And I was looking into some of those contents, and I remember I saw a video about just some guy, Mark Wade. And then I remember when I heard that Mark Wade called just some guy a white supremacist, and I remember thinking, oh, I guess he's got to be. However, I never heard just some guy's side of the story on that. When I looked into it later on, I learned that he was a black man, and that like sounded off a huge alarm for me. I'm like,
right,
whoa, he said that about a black guy. And that's when I realized at that point in time that these guys aren't saying these things because they're true. They're saying it just to paint a bad picture of someone who disagrees with them. And then right then and there, I'm like, all right, I need to start paying attention to what's going on here. Like there's seriously something going on here. And I was, watching more and more, especially the Ripa stuff and some of the Just Some Guy stuff. But then he did a For Canon's Sake podcast episode with Nerdrotic. And I remember that was my gateway into Nerdrotic. And I heard the age-old, story. I owned a comic shop, and I thought it was really cool, really inspiring. I'm like, wow, this guy seems really cool, this Nerdrotic guy. And then he's like, hey, I look forward to having you on Friday Night Tights this week. And I'm like thinking, oh, that's a really cool name. I should check that out. Usually I'm always doing something Friday night, but I'm going to stay home and check this out because that sounds really cool. And so I tuned into Friday Night Tights where Eric July is a guest. And before I knew it, it was like the floodgates had opened. I saw all these faces like, but this is before they had Quarter Black Era as a full-time pass. Before that, Chrissy Mayer. It was Nerdrotic. It was Comics Division, Odin's Movie Blog, Jeremy Ryan from Geeks and Gamers as Heel versus Babyface. And all of a sudden, like, it was like I opened, like, it felt like I unlocked the Matrix or something. I'm like, holy crap, this world exists of all these other side of opinions and thoughts. I'm like, and here I was, my mind was just accustomed to whatever was said on like CBR or the mainstream opinions on Twitter. And I was just, holy crap. I can't believe all this stuff exists. Like where was this all my life? This was a lot to process.
Mm-hmm.
And I fell in love with what I was saying on FNT. And I knew right around the time when I was discovering Eric July, FNT, Nerdrotic, all that stuff, I was also getting into another man named Dave Portnoy of Barstool Sports. And my brother showed me him. And I'm anyone, obviously, and you've seen all the pizza icons in the chat, but I was very impressed with Mr. Portnoy because not only was he a badass alternative to the shill media that was ESPN, he was also someone who didn't back down to the mainstream. I thought that was very inspiring. And I saw him doing the pizza reviews. I'm like, man, I want to do pizza reviews like that. And that's when I knew right then and there, that's it. I want to do a YouTube channel. That's it. Like, I couldn't believe, like, all of a sudden, like, the bells are going off in my head. I want to do a YouTube channel. This is it. This is what I need to do. Now I'm like, okay, how do I start? What do I talk about? When, where, like, all those things are scrambling in my head. And then the unknown virus of unknown origins happened with the lockdowns.
Mm-hmm.
And I remember around that time period, I remember the week all that stuff was being announced. I thought in my head, okay, Nick, there's this crazy life situation going on here. This is the time to start this channel.
Right.
This is a now or never. If you don't start it now, you're never going to start because this is the golden opportunity to get this going. And I bought a desktop, I bought a webcam, and I said, you know what? I'm just going to figure something out, and I'm just going to push record. If I'm terrible at it, well, hopefully eventually I'll get better at this. And just be terrible and garbage now, and then eventually you'll get decent later on. And that's when I first started doing I did a few food reviews and a few reviews on shows like The Boys, stuff like that. And then that's what led to the stuff earlier I was mentioning about connecting with Jake D and the chat and all that.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Mr. Tickle Trunk's messing with me while you're talking. I'm sorry, man.
No, it's all good.
So what is it like? What is it like to enter an area of people, enter a group of people, or interact with them who are telling you different versions of a story that the mainstream that you've been hearing from the outside? Like, what is it? What does that do to your system or to your psyche? How does that feel making that transition?
Well, it's something that doesn't happen overnight. It's something that it took a few months of process because it's just one of those things. Like, it wasn't that I was a far leftist. I guess you could say maybe I was even very apolitical, but I was only aware of one particular type of ideology. It wasn't like I saw like wokeness or intersectionality or fourth wave feminism. I just saw it as Nick transition, pass on. I was processing all these other thoughts and opinions. Of course, that show I learned about stuff like Joe Rogan, certain people Joe Rogan is bringing on. Like, I learned about guys like Crowder. I learned about all these other names, and I learned about Razor Fist. Like,
right,
it just shows you how well the shadow banning is and how effective it is when those thoughts and opinions, are very pushed to the wayside for more favored, protected opinions. And it took a lot because you start to think, okay, this can't be right. Like, there's got to be some here that I'm just looking to it, and maybe I'm well into the too far down the well, the rabbit hole per se. So I try to look for stuff to contradict that, and then that's when I realized like Google wasn't happening, and I typed in other search engines besides Google on Google, and I learned about stuff like DuckDuckGo before DuckDuckGo got corrupted, and I was just like, holy crap, other things like this, once again, other things like this exist. And then I learned that stuff like BitChute exists. I was just like, how am I not being told about these things? Like, I'm not even hearing like a mention. Like, and it shows you how powerful the shadow banning is. And also it shows you how, once again, people's opinions, like Mark Wade and the whole Just Some Guy thing, because he has the mainstream voice, his reach reaches out that much further than a guy like Just Some Guy. And because he is considered you guys see him through the perception of Mark is considered legitimate. This is just some guy on YouTube. So you got to take my word for it because I got the majority behind me. So it took quite a few months to really form my own opinions on it and proved like, okay, maybe somehow these Mark Wades of the world is still right. But the more I looked into it and saw both sides, I'm like, okay, I now have a great picture of what's going on now. I had a very clear-headed picture now of what is happening, what is at play, and how serious everything is. And granted, I have a lot of fun on my channel. I do. Not too much serious stuff. Every now and then there is. But obviously when I go on yelling, I do see things now for what they are and not the alternative La La Land.
Yeah. I mean, how does it... did you have any strong feelings when you figured out the manipulation that was at work and the censoring of dissenting voices? How does that make you feel, and does it add to your inspiration to doing YouTube and being an independent voice?
No, when I heard, I had barely known who Alex Jones was at the time. I just heard guy who was alt-right conspiracy theorist, and I didn't have anything against him or didn't believe him. Well, of course, I looked at clips that were edited and taken way out of context. And I even still to this day, I'll say he says crazy things. But at the time, I learned that there was pieces taking out later on. But at the time, I'm like, okay, this guy just says a bunch of crazy shit. Maybe he's drunk or something. And I thought, okay, I don't know why he got banned. And I was kind of confused by it. And I thought, maybe he was a very exceptional guy. But then I started hearing and seeing more of it. And also when I had a Facebook at the time, I was noticing I would say posts and they would get removed or had weird things added to it. I'm like, something's not right here with all this stuff. And I noticed too when I would try to have rebutting opinions against these things, whether it was online on Facebook or even to people in person in Chicago, people were like, how dare you say this? And people get mad and I knew things were off too, especially around the lockdowns. I didn't really think of it much for the first month. I really did not, besides starting my channel. But right after about a month, I'm like, there's something not right here. And then time passed on. Boy, did the veil get unlifted more and more and more. But yeah, I couldn't believe the damage of what was going on and how serious all this stuff was. This is like, how is this crazy? And how these people get away with this? How did people just buy into this? Because when you hear it all and see what everyone's going through, and when you finally see it through a clear set of lenses, it feels like you're trying to explain to someone some really crazy movie story happening. And it really messed with my mind for months on end. Not on a mental level, it's just like, how is this happening type of thing. But technology, man, I love it. I do. I love advanced technology. But I'm also saying now what happens when it's used in an abusive sort of light.
Yeah, absolutely. And I felt the same way, brother. I felt very strongly. Wrote a book about it, because it was insane. The shadow banning, the censorship, how they were outright, how the industry, and whatever industry it was, from comic book gaming, gaming back in the day to now, and how they can all unify and press the same narrative and then press that through their shills and through their networks and make people believe something that is outright false. It's a scary thing. So Toxic Man flew for $5. Thank you so much. This is Nickweiser flavor number 14. Mr. Trunk Tickle Tangerine Taco Pizza. This is I've been seeing the guys do this for a long time now. How did the whole Nickweiser flavor start? What's the story behind that?
So probably around 2, maybe 3 weeks, maybe. I'm estimating here, and Toxin correct me if he knows, but probably around 2 or 3 weeks into being on Yelling Apart Cars, Tox was just coming up with flavor names as super chats for comics. We all know he's comics' biggest whore, which is awesome. So he would just start sending Nickweiser flavors, and he obviously saw my name, and he was making flavor numbers with them, which actually that's the one part of the origin story I didn't mention, was come up with the name. I saw Nickweiser is a name that goes back to probably the age of 15 for very obvious reasons.
Gotcha.
You can't. No one here can't figure out why. But and I was one of those rare freshmen that actually got along with the seniors. A lot of the seniors actually liked me.
Good shit.
So if I ever had issues, like I actually had the seniors watch my back. I was a very exceptional one. And yeah, one of them gave me that name and kind of stuck with me. But 32 flavors came because I had passed by Baskin Robbins at just a 31. So I just took the number and added one more digit to it. That's all. I'm like, okay, Baskin Robbins, that's it. And I obviously I touch on a variety of things. And Baskin Robbins was known for variety. So you put the two together and you can figure out the name. And that's really where that happened.
That's beautiful. Hail the chat. Thank you guys so much for being here. Those of you, apologize, I'm not interacting with the chat as much as I normally do. This show's more about interviewing the person that I have on the panel, but I thank you guys very much. And if you just joined, please share out a link. Link to Nick's channel is in the description below. He is almost at 1,000 subs. He needs less than 100. If you can share that out on your social media, please, I would be very thankful. And share a link to the stream and hit the like or dislike. If you hate us, that's all good. If you hate me, well, throw it in there. That's the algorithm. Mr. Tickle Drunk for Canadian $5 says Nickweiser flavor number 15, Toxic Man Flu Naughty Noxious Nut Cluster Medley.
Look at you making money off my flavors now. I love it.
I was going to be quiet and not say that, but thank you.
No, take that money. You be proud of that money and fucking take it, dude. Be proud of it. Stand by the flavors.
Thank you. See, Poke Metallica says, hey, Tox, I see the unholy trinity of you, me, and Mr. Tickle Trunk has formed. Let the dicks jokes commence. Absolutely, guys. And if anyone out there has any questions for Nick, please throw it in the chat. Like any serious questions about him, his life, his what his YouTube channel or anything else. Please put it out there, and
you can ask me dumb questions.
You can ask me dumb questions too. See, Nick just said it. He's in control. Nickweiser, thank you very much. Tickle Trunk for Canadian $5. Nickweiser flavor number 15. Oh, I already did that one. It's this one. Toxic Man Flu for $2. I prefer Dick's Division Bottom Biatch. Damn, hashtag DDPP. All right, Tox. Embrace it. Tox, I'm glad to see that you're embracing it. You know what I mean? Those are back kisses. That hashtag will bring you back kisses. Love you, brother. Thank you for being here. Thank you guys so much. I appreciate you. And please, there is a link to Nick's channel. Please, guys, subscribe to Nick. Share that link out. Let's get this man over 1,000. He's got the hours. All he needs is the subs. Let's make this happen. Thank you guys so much. Let's see. Oh, here we go. We have a question. Got a question from Zach. He says, how did you meet Mrs. Weiser?
I met her, so historically speaking, I was never really a guy who went out of his way to approach girlfriends. And I was always a guy that hung out with the boys. I always hung out with the dudes. No, it always always confused me. Like when there'd be a party and then some dude's like, you didn't bring any girls? I'm like, dude, I'm here to get drunk. That's your problem. I'm here to actually get drunk for the love of getting drunk. Getting drunk was passion for me. I was Charlie Sheen by winning at getting drunk. I didn't care about getting the girls. Now, and that's not a knock on those who do, because I thought Charlie Sheen was fucking hilarious when he did that whole winning promo. But my whole just was I was hanging out with the guys. It's what I do type of thing. So if girlfriends were approaching me, it was because they must have a particular interest in me, and that was a matter of me saying yes or no. It was like I was afraid. Honestly, would not care if I was rejected. It was just I was coming up in the diet versions of what became feminism of now. I'm just like, I'm not gonna waste my time with these girls who want me to tiptoe around every single thing they say. So I didn't bother. Like if there was a girl out there who wanted to talk to me, they had to talk to me. That was just how the cookie crumbles. So, and that relates to my current girlfriend. I was at a show where a local band was playing, and I was literally that guy that was with the band per se. And I just happened to be at the show hanging out, and Stella, that's her name, she actually messaged me on when I used to have Facebook. And she said, "Are you the guy that's with Art of the Flesh?" I'm like, "Yeah, that's me on the side stage." And I didn't realize I was already friends with her on Facebook. Maybe I knew her through acquaintances. We still don't know how I knew her already, but we're still figuring that mystery out to this day. But she's like, "Yeah," she's like, "Oh, I was really hoping to want to talk to you, but no, one of my friends got too drunk, and then we had to go." I'm like, "Oh, okay. Well, hey, this is my number. If you want to text me, we can go out and get a coffee. We can do that." That's really all. It was that simple. And for we had inside meeting for coffee. We met for beer. We met later that week, and we just talked over quite a few beers, actually, like many beers. Actually, it started off as one, and then one became a lot of them. And for not much later, her and I were an item. And now we live together. We are now on our second year living together. We renewed our lease. So that's when if you got past year one, that's like always the best testing ground. If you got past year one, okay, right, maybe you guys actually survived there. And yeah, we're ready to talk about what we want to do. If we want to do year 3, or do we want to move into a bigger place? We're still figuring that out.
Nice.
So there's your answer.
Beautiful. Thank you, Zach. Thank you for asking that question, man. How would you describe your channel, Nick? How would you describe the content that you put out?
Vulgar, funny, usually filled with dudes. There's a variety of things. I've embraced all tech as well, but it's meant to be mostly fun. And even if there's like the occasional rant, I'll even try to make the occasional rant fun, just for some laughs. So I try to make a very fun channel, but just be prepared for vulgarities. So I'm sure most people in the chat are fine, but I have definitely gotten complaints about the level of vulgarities. And I'm very loud too. I'm very unapologetically loud. Like I'm that way from when I wake up at 6 or 5 a.m. to when I pass out. Like I'm just like I'm go. So yeah, loud, funny, and vulgar.
All right, I like that description, Nick. Guys, subscribe to Nick, please. 30 Flavors of Nickweiser. Put some links out there. Let's get this man to 1,000. Culture Casino is here, and he says, "Stephen, any place to be? I don't have a place to be for another 45 minutes. If you guys, after this interview, I will be on Sporking News podcast, hanging out with him tonight. Yeah, I ain't seen Scotty in a while. I'm gonna go tickle him. Just tickle him. Gotta keep Scott on his toes, Nick. You don't understand. He gets a big head. He gets full of himself. So you gotta go.
You better keep him in check. That Scott.
He's got. I had to leave for a while. All right. I fell in a hole, and he took off. He's got more subs than me now, so I gotta put him in his place. I found that talent. I did.
I was gonna say, did you hit 2 subs originally? 2K?
Yeah, I did hit 2K. I would not put guys. If you were doing YouTube channels, man, put out content constantly. Keep working your channel, or else it will go backwards. And that's just what happens. You'll lose the if you're not putting videos out consistently at the same time every week. Your algorithm's not going to know what to pick up and what not to. And you can't really do different kinds of content. So don't try and do, don't build a channel screaming about Disney and then try and do tarot cards. It doesn't work. So
that's literally that's figuratively me, because I do touch on different things. I'm sure the YouTube algorithm hates me. I just kind of see it like Razor Fist does. He has obviously a lot of political rants, but if you also look, he's got like a video on the Hitman video game franchises. He has that reject modernity, embrace the pulp. Then he has his Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles video. I'm sure the algorithm hates him, but they already hate him like regardless. So that probably adds to his hatred. And no, I have violated that rule many times, and my whole just is to not do a second channel. I'm sure have more. That's another reason I'm pretty sure I'm not 1K because YouTube algorithm hates me. So
yeah,
listen to Steven. Don't do what I do. I just do what I do because, well, I stick into one channel.
Tag the living hell out of it. Tag everything, even if it's in the description. Just tag it. Put the in there if you need to. Toxic Manflu says, question for Nick: how is comics in the sack? Hashtag what stays in Vegas?
Well, unfortunately, comics and I had to sleep on separate beds because we had to keep it PG, and I wanted us to merge into one bed. And well, we had two beds, and I was if anything, he was kind of like let's just say he was Marge Simpson at the hotel, and Nick was Homer coming back, stumbling drunk. So if he was Marge, I was always like, "Hey, look at me!" So, and his whole thing is, how does Nick get drunk until very late and then wake up at 6 a.m. and he's fine, like he never even got drunk?
That's amazing.
Well, yeah,
you drink a lot of water, don't you?
Oh, dude, hydration's key, man. Hydration is key. I gotta balance out that alcohol somehow, and also do it without sleeping anywhere between 3 to 6 hours a night.
Dude, take that. Good man. Mr. Tickle Trunk says, question for Nick: if you were sent to prison, would you finally cut your hair?
That wouldn't be a reason for me to cut my hair, because I've shaved my head before because I was bored. I'm not joking either. Usually when I cut my hair, I get clippers, I cut everything, and then I go to the razors and I make myself look like Steve Austin. And that's literally how it works. That's it. And this is my 4th or 5th time having long hair this long.
Really?
And I always go one extreme to the other. I grow it up, and then once it's long like this, or sometimes even longer, I shave my head and I start over again. So who knows? Maybe in the next year there might be another shave your head Nick coming up. You never know.
Nick, I need to see at some point a picture of you with the shaved head. I have to see that. I have to see that. You got to send me.
It exists. It exists.
Toxic Manflu for $5. Thank you so much. Says Werewolf Weiser nipple color number 10. Walton's Redwood Rustic Brown. Are you serious, bro? Did you had to put that together? What the hell, man? It's not a joke anymore. It's gone. It's past. It lived its day. Oh well. All right, culture.
Vaginas in the rain. So many fucks given. Where's vagina?
I hate you, culture. No, thank you. Thank you so much. No, brother, appreciate you. He says, I too have picked up a 32 Flavors of Nickweiser in a bar. Oh, wait, what is the man love story here?
Dude, we had pizza. That's where we met, and we had pizza. Me and Mrs. Flu watched, and me and Tox were like, it's kind of like that movie. You ever see I Love You Man with Paul Rudd and Jason Segel?
Yeah.
And there's that scene at the Rush concert. That was like me and Tox.
That's awesome, man.
Yeah, it was like that. So it was good times, and Tox and I that was not the last time. And as I have said very vaguely, just stay tuned. Stay tuned. More things are coming. The dicks are gonna rise.
Nice.
And I mean that in more ways than one.
Hail the Dicks Division. Bravo Bull stopping through. Says, hail everybody. Hail, brother. Thank you for coming by. Please smash the link, share out the like. Yeah, the other way around. You know what I meant. And if you have not, subscribe to 32 Flavors of Nickweiser. And if you can, go out here to social media, put a link out for his channel. Let's get this man up over 1,000 if we can. Becky Brown with us here. What's up, Becky? Says, hey, everyone. Becky's been in my DMs, Nick.
Oh,
we were talking a little bit earlier.
Talking?
No, talking.
Was it awkward?
No, I'm talking to a fan. I'm just talking to a fan. What's up, Becky? Good to see you, sweetheart. Yeah, Nick. Yeah, actually, I tried to do a comedy skit the other day. Attic Tarot. If you want to check that out, I only got 30 views. I'm gonna go back to yelling about entertainments, but it's just I figured. It was my buddy Tom came down here and moved in with me, so we made that video. You get a kick out of that.
Nice.
Let's you have drawn the tower. Yeah, sure. So let's see. Any other questions? That's the bottom line. I don't believe it. Mr. Tickle Trunk says you can take. Oh, son of a bitch! This isn't about me. This is about Nick right now. You can take the tree out of the elf, but you can't take the elf out of the tree. He'll pull out when he's finished. Steven, thoughts? That's really fucked up. It's messed up. That's really messed up, Mr. Tickle Trunk.
Cavatino had a comment
Did he?
at
Okay.
5:48.
5:48. Thank you very much. 48 after the hour. Appreciate you. Appreciate you actually looking.
It's all good, dude.
All right, let's see. This is it. Hanging with the boys. Was there ever any topless beach volleyball with occasional muscle flexing?
Not enough. The closest thing we ever had to that was when we played extreme volleyball, where instead we served the ball, we punched the ball in gym class in junior year. And yeah, we punched the ball to the point where one of us like cut our hand, got blood on the ball. And then we all decided everyone should just contribute their blood to the volleyball. Before you know it, everyone started punching the ball, blooding up their knuckles. It was glorious. And unfortunately, we had to wear shirts because we were in school, but we were dudes playing volleyball. We were definitely flexing. That's for sure.
Dig that. Your fans are in the chat. Toxic Man Flu says, question for Nick, does the carpet match the mutton chops?
I don't either. I'm not understanding this, or I'll admit if I don't understand some shit.
He's asking if your pubic hair matches the same color. That's what he's asking. I mean, I didn't ask it. Tox did.
This is a very revealing question, but
that is a Dick's Division question.
That's a very Dick's Division revealing question. So a lot of people probably gonna like close their ears for this one, except Toxic Man Flu. So everyone in the chat, I'm gonna say this should take 10 seconds, and then you can un-earmuffs yourself. But for Toxic Man Flu, earmuffs disclaimer. Tox, I'm very well clean in some areas.
He's how hardwood floors like a real man. That's what Nick is saying. You gotta manscape. You gotta do it. You gotta do it, guys. You don't want to. We do not. Okay, we should not make anyone kneel for a stinky eel. Keep your peen clean. All right, you gotta take care of the whole meat box. Everything. All right, thank you. Hashtag clean your peen. Support independent creators, please. Share out a link for 32 Flavors of Nickweiser. Thank you. Okay. That's right. Manscaped Tox. Manscaped. He's thoroughly engaged right now. You have
he's all in.
He's all in. He's constantly he's thinking about your area, and he is happy with the thoughts that has come through his head.
Oh, damn it.
Dragon Master says, blood on a volleyball sounds like creepypasta folder. Hey, old brother.
It do be like that, Dragon Master. Volleyball was it 16 years ago. That was just the way the cookie crumbled then.
Take that. Mr. Tickle Trunk says you're a good man. That's how you do it. Clean your peen. Yes, Mr. Tickle Trunk. Hashtag that shit. Clean your peen. Support independent creators. That's what we do around here. That's how we do it. That's right. Watch those dicks. That's a yes. Yes. Absolutely. Hell, bro. My man. Guys, please subscribe to 30 Flavors of Nickweiser if you have not already. Share out a link to his channel. Let's get this man up over 1,000. Appreciate you very much, guys. Hail to everybody in the chat. Thank you for hanging out. Nick, what do you have any projects you're looking forward to working on in the near future that you could tell us about?
Well, let's see here. As far as projects go, I'm definitely gonna do some stuff that is definitely more bigger in scale, but those are gonna definitely come out a bit more sporadically because they take time and proper editing to do. I'm gonna do a few comic book based videos, and they're gonna definitely be on, I guess you could say, overlooked characters that I love. But for now, sooner than later, like I have a BitChute account, and on BitChute I have a few exclusives there, and I will continue to post more BitChute exclusives. Or a little bit more socially, politically motivated. They are, and I keep it there because that way I can literally say whatever I want, and it's glorious. So I enjoy BitChute, and I got Gilded as well, and Gilded is very important for communicating with everyone. Please go on there for the communication. It's once again, it's like being on a message board and having a much more personal conversation with anyone and everyone. I got a video I'm going to be coming out with. I'm going to record tonight on the cheapness of remakes in Hollywood. That will be coming this week, so that's for sure going to happen. And Toxic Tuesday tomorrow night, we'll be talking The Big Lebowski. And that is gonna be great. I got Brahma Bull coming on for that, and he's awesome. He's another great new channel coming around, and he's one of those guys that, like, even though he's been on Too Yelling at Park Cars with us now, I feel like he's already been there for weeks on end now. That guy melds with the dicks very nicely. So if you're still listening, Brahma, your dick melds with our dicks very nicely.
That's a compliment. Understand. That's like everybody laying their dicks down on the round table. Okay, you have to understand the feeling that's being had right now. That's great. It's true. Man.
It's true.
That is awesome. There's so many people that's come into this indie sphere that I haven't even had a chance to meet everybody. But one of the things I was like, I remember at a time when I knew the main players, like I knew kind of like the people that everyone clustered around, Chris Knights and Han Stars and Justin Propers and everybody. I kind of knew everybody. And then at one point, the whole community just exploded. It became an entirely different animal. So I enjoy seeing people like Brahma Bull coming up. That's great. Didn't even know that he was streaming, and I'm happy to hear about that. Like I said, just showed up one day and Tox was on a panel. I'm like, yes, that's what I'm talking about. I've seen a lot of people just begin to do that. And guys, if you have a voice, you want your voice heard, there's an entire community of people around you that will help to build your channel, that will work with you or give you the guidance or point you in a direction of new talent, because it's happening everywhere. We are the next mainstream, and we ain't going to be like the old mainstream. We're going to report the way that we see it. No spin, no bullshit. Supporting indie creators, guys. That's what it's all about. The Toxic Man for $5. Thank you so much. Says Weavewiser hair product number 2. Nick's 32 step ball wax blinder with your shiny wang. Look, I'm enjoying this. This comes from the Clean Your Peen. And the Dick's division. I enjoyed this melding here that's going on. And Nick, how do you feel about this? I mean, do you think this is a good message, for the indie community?
It's the gift that keeps on giving. It's a glorious gift, and it's one that I never want to let go of. Between my flavors and Drew's Dong and Culture's Weave, we have a strong bevy of things going on at Yelling at Park Cars, and I'm proud to say that that's one of said things with the flavors, and the fact that Tox somehow outdoes himself with each and every flavor is absolutely crazy, because you got to have a very colorful mind to constantly outdo yourself with these really colorful flavors. And the funny part is about one of these flavors, and I'm going to go on a tangent here about one of the flavors.
Gotta do it.
Tox, one day, many months ago, I'd say around 7 months ago, my girlfriend actually created a Twitter account. She got in touch with Toxic Man Flu, and she messaged him, saying, hey, I'm Nick's girlfriend. I want to give him a cake for his birthday. She asked him for flavor names and numbers, and he actually sent her a few, and she picked one for a cake. So I had a cake that was a surprise to me, where it said Nickweiser flavor number or something. It was one about Harambe. Tox might remember which one it was, but it was about Harambe. It wasn't as vulgar, because obviously for my children to not see something, but it was cool that happened. So here we go. Tox say, oh yeah, that was a great thing. Number 44. Yeah, there's so many flavors now. Some flavors have 2 flavors within one flavor. That's how many flavors. Seriously, there's literally hundreds. I don't know how it happens, but once again, it takes a very colorful mind to come up with all these flavors. And between that and the weave and the dong, we're just, man, Comics has got to love it. He makes money off all our things and our bits and our things.
Bravo Bull's in the chat still. He said thanks. He said thanks, Nick. Thank you, brother. Appreciate you being here. Rough Girl is here. What's up, Rough Girl? Good to see you. Another up and comer in the community. Please go check out those streams. and check out her channel. I'm not able to share the BitChute link from StreamYard. They still haven't even figured that out yet. So if one of you guys out there talks or somebody has the link for his
Gilded.
Cool. If you guys could share that out for me, I'd appreciate that. And the link for the Gilded. Thank you guys so much. Thank you guys so much. Let's see. Somebody got the porn bot. Thank you. CJH for $5. Thank you so much. I've been supporting pretty much everyone in the community for the longest while. Whenever I can. I lost track of how many memberships I've joined. I had to go through my memberships recently too, and just okay, because you support when you can, man. But you know what? The thing is, guys, even if you can't super chat, even if you can't be a channel member, and just being here and hitting the like for an independent creator, sharing out a link to their channel, supporting them that way, being active in the chat, dude, that means the world. That's everything. It really is, and we appreciate you guys out there for doing that. Let's see. Got the Gilded up on there. Keely Chow says, ladies either end up blind or faint after seeing the glory that is Drew's dong. Beware the Drew. It's so great. I remember when that started. The Beware the Drew started on his Pegasus Actual podcast. It was me, him, Script, somebody else. And he was having a story about how he was, he had gotten one in. It was over a year ago. He had gotten one in. And then right after he told that story, somebody went to his door and he was like, "Oh, somebody's at the door, guys. I'll be right back." It's his show. And he left like 3 of us just there, just holding it down. All right, well, we're holding it for like 15 minutes. And he comes back and he's like, "Oh, all right, guys, I'm good." And he was out of breath. And we were like, "Drew, what did you just do, bro? Beware the Drew."
So that's where that came from.
That's how that got started, Pat. Pegasus Actual.
Wow.
Yeah, man. So, Nick, if you have a plan, or is there a dream that you would like to achieve within the next 5-10 years? Where do you want to go with your channel or with your life if it doesn't involve that?
There's a few different things. With YouTube, my goal is to maintain a loyal following. And I have to emphasize the word loyal because I base my model of how I go about this YouTube. I base it off Slayer, the thrash metal band. Because Slayer, when you think of Slayer, they're part of what was called the Big Four of thrash metal: Metallica, Slayer, Megadeth, Anthrax.
Yes.
So Slayer were obviously not as popular amongst the bunch. However, they, unlike the other bands, they always maintained a very loyal following. Well, the other 3 bands, and they kind of they cruised through some fans, had more. There are some people who are loyal to all those bands, but there's also, they do definitely have a bit more of a trend to your fan base. Some people who are in there for the singles or who are into them for an album or two. Right. Slayer had a sound, they kind of stuck with it, and they stuck to their guns, and they built a small but always loyal following years on end, and they had respect amongst their peers and their fans, and they're always known for being that band that stuck to their guns. And even though they weren't always the biggest name on the market, they knew that whenever it was they were coming around, people had to go. And I'm not the biggest channel. I don't need to be the biggest channel on YouTube. Of course, I'll take any sub I could get. I'll take any view I could get. I'll take whatever. But I want to have a loyal following. Like Toxic Tuesday is a great example of what I find is a loyal following, because my Toxic Tuesday draws anywhere between 30 and 70 people. And I'm just a guy under 1K with those numbers. There are people who have many more thousands of subs than me, and they don't do those numbers live. And I feel like that has helped because of people being loyal to that stream, and sounds like many continue to enjoy that show too. It's a great show, and it goes on at the same time as the main event. Don't be intimidated by competition. Embrace your competition. Like, I go on at the same time as the main event, but I'm still happy that I can still get a decent pull as a small channel against a show like the big Tuesday night's main event. It feels awesome to say, hey, look, I can do these numbers, and I'm doing it while there's another big show going on. So I don't back away from the competition. I embrace my competition, and I'll catch the replay myself for the main event in the morning. But meanwhile, Toxic Tuesday reigns supreme.
That actually reminds me of a story. Way back when I started I got introduced to the community through a small group of people, Hail Transfat, and when we were talking at one time, there was a discussion going on about doing a show on Tuesday night, and at the time, the High Council, that was the show.
Yes,
that was the show, and one of us, Jay said, I want to do a show with like Abu and D and he just did it. He did some Black Eyes and a Drunk, which turned into the Dark Council.
Yep,
which is one of the best shows that we have running right now. I've been supporting that show since it first started. You can absolutely find your audience and take your audience. You know what I mean? Like you can find them. If you start generating a buzz. The thing is that this whole indie sphere is big enough for all of us. YouTube's big enough for all of us. All the social medias, you know what I mean? If there is a fan that has a choice between two programs, well, that's even so much the better. Because then when they're talking to others, they're saying, "Yo, I love this show. I love this show. I don't know which one to watch. I don't know which one to catch on the replay." So don't ever be afraid of competition out there, guys. Stream. And also, if you're a live streamer, I understand. That you don't want to stream over your friends or over someone else. So it's just inevitable. It's just inevitable that's going to happen. So you just have to run with it and not take that to heart and never be jealous. Never be jealous of another person's success, man. Try and emulate if you can, or push harder in your own direction. Rough Girl, thank you so much, sweetheart. So just became a channel member. I appreciate you. Thank you so much, sweetie. Rough Girl's an up-and-coming creator. If someone could throw a link out for her channel in the chat, I'd appreciate that. Got 25 people watching. Guys, if every one of you could share out a link to Nick's channel. He has less than 100 before he gets to 1,000. Let's try and get a campaign going and get this man monetized, guys. I greatly appreciate that. Thank you so much. And hail to everybody being here. Rough Girl, I appreciate you, honey. Thank you so much. Let's see. So final question. Final question of the night. Nick, what is your favorite franchise?
I'm going to say my favorite fictional character of all time is Spider-Man, with Daredevil coming in at a close second place. Even though I don't have Spidey and DD up on the wall, I also do love me some Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. And of course, I love Star Wars and I love DC Comics. I mean, I got Hawkman and Hal Jordan.
Loving that Megadeth in the background, dude.
That's Dave Mustaine's autograph there.
Oh, that's awesome.
Under the logo, that's Dave Mustaine's autograph. And obviously The Simpsons is up there too as well. So I mean, I'd say regular Marvel, Simpsons, Star Wars, DC, and man. Yeah, I have a few, but I'd say Spider-Man, Daredevil are definitely in the top echelon. Like I've been a big Spider-Man fan for a long time, Daredevil as well. Like, and I've been into Daredevil since I think since Brubaker was writing the character 15, 17 years ago. I think that's when I got into it, like around that run when he was in prison during the Civil War arc, and he had to get himself out because of the whole identity on. But yeah, obviously I come back from that age too. Of course I was a big Fantastic Four guy as well. So yeah, I'd say Marvel would probably be overall my favorite, but all those things have a little bit of a place on my heart. They all do, whether it's The Simpsons, whether it's DC, whether it's Star Wars, whether it's Marvel. And of course, I grew up a metalhead. I have over 2,000 CDs. I probably have around maybe 200 vinyls too. So I could go for days on bands from Switzerland, Australia, New Zealand, Mexico, Puerto Rico, Canada, Brazil, of course, America. I could go specific on states. I could go specific on the East Coast of New York. I could go specific on SoCal, California. Like the knowledge of heavy music is deep in this brain. I could provide a geography lesson class would definitely be in session.
So I take it music is a big part of your life. What is music to you?
It's a catharsis, especially on the heavy side of things. I love a lot of the underground bands. I actually see a lot of, in my opinion, I see a lot of parallels in the underground metal scene. The way there, I guess you could say this whole sphere of people is, because me coming up, like being on a show like this, is like the equivalent of being an opening band, opening up for a bigger name. You want to win some people over. Winning new fans is like winning subs over. So, and also they're not the mainstream names. That's the thing. We're not the mainstream names. A lot of lesser known metal bands are not the mainstream names. Like, you're not going to just find the name of like Obituary out there everywhere. You're not going to find the name of, and I see Rugo Beta mentioned Japanese metal about Razorfist, a great band from Japan named Loudness. They're a very, very, very old band of like 30 plus years. Loudness is a great band that's been going on for 30 plus years, but not everyone's heard of them. But they're going 30 freaking years. They got a loyal following. Once again, they got that loyal model. Not a big name, but people know, whoever knows them, knows them. So I love a lot of the heavy stuff. I love the underground stuff. And supporting the underground metal is pretty much like supporting this whole fellowship community scene, whatever you want to call it. There's a lot of that parallels. And big labels don't push a lot of the underground stuff the same way YouTube doesn't push names like us. Once again, the parallels go on and on for days. And Rugo Beta mentions Dan Vast. No, do you know Dan Vast's band Fearless? Everyone says Dan Vast, but they don't say Dan Vast's band Fearless. I know his band Fearless, and they're a great band, by the way. And actually talked to Vast about particular songs on that album. He was surprised I was able to pick his brain apart and know the song. So yeah, there's a lot of parallels between these two things. So I just also like kind of like when Star Wars and all the franchises kind of like dumbed down what they did. I've seen that happen with metal. A lot of bands would dumb down what they did, what they became known for, and try to swap it for the in crowd. Now we're seeing that with Hollywood, where they're trying to swap out their geek nerd fan base for the mainstream minds. Once the parallels can go on for days. So it's crazy how much the two have in common with each other.
It's wonderful. Nick, what's I know you got a busy schedule. What is your live streaming like tonight or the rest of the week? What do you do? Where are you going to be at?
All right, so I got 3 live streams this week, 2 that I'm hosting, 1 that I'm appearing on. Tonight, I have Yelling at Parked Cars as per usual with Comics Division and the Dicks Division. That's at 9 p.m. Central. And before that, on my Gilded, or half hour before the show starts, we'll start doing the Yelling at Parked Cars pregame. Nice. Where I'll just basically interact with members of the Gilded community, and we'll just have a small interactive chat just to get people pumped and excited for yelling. Now, as for the other 2 streams, I host 2 streams a week. I do one on toxic male movies. So Toxic Tuesday is ultimately about embracing the concept of being a man. If ladies want to watch, they can always watch. It's ultimately about embracing being a man. And we're always picking a very toxic male movie. And this week is, as I mentioned earlier, it's based off of The Big Lebowski. And then there's the Comic Shop Talk, which is on every Friday night. That's at 8:45 p.m. Central. And we just talk comic books. That's a more of a chill stream, unlike the wildly energetic and vibrantly loud Toxic Tuesday. Comic Shop Talk is the more chilled out stream. We're just kicking back, having a few drinks with the boys, talking comics, whether it's old comics, newer comics like Berserker or whatever's coming out on Indiegogo, whatever. And sometimes even stuff like from Image. We talk about whatever on comics. Oh, and of course, I usually do Tuesday nights. I do Meet as well, Midnight's Edge After Dark with Tom Connors and
that's great,
the boys. So yeah, those are the streams I can do.
That's awesome. Thank you very much. Real quick before we head out, Terminus, what's up, dude? I haven't seen you in a hot minute. $5. Thank you so much. Weaveweiser male hygiene product number 3. Wow, Walton's balsamic ball wash. Make your junk smell like pine trees and give a new meaning to the term needle dye. Oh God, needle day. Thank you very much, Terminus, for being here. Thank you, everybody in the chat. No, hell, brother, appreciate you. Thank you guys so much. Appreciate you being here. Please subscribe to 32 Flavors of Nickweiser. Support your independent creators out there. Let's put out links. Let's get this man over 1,000. He deserves it. He's with us. He's been one of us. We've seen him come up. We love what he talks about. He's a part of the Dicks Division. Let's see it all right. Let's see it rise hard and strong, bro. Please. Much appreciate to all y'all. I have to head out because I got to go make fun of Scott. Please come over to Sporking News Podcast later if you are not stopping by to hang out with Nick. And I think I'm going to just jetpack out of here. Peace.
Had told us at a town hall, I think it was in